Welcome to Candelaria. Once a thriving mining district, it now stands as a haunting reminder of the boom and bust cycle that shaped the American West. Join me as I explore the rise, peak, and fall of Candelaria, a town that glittered with promise before succumbing to the relentless forces of nature and time. The story of Candelaria begins in 1864, when Mexican prospectors struck silver on the northern slopes of Mount Diablo. The discovery ignited a silver rush and transformed a remote area into a mining camp seemingly overnight. The news of the rich silver deposits spread quickly, attracting miners and entrepreneurs from all parts of Nevada. These early settlers endured harsh conditions, battling extreme temperatures and rugged terrain to carve out a place to live and work. Makeshift tents and wooden shacks quickly sprang up, providing basic shelter for the influx of silver seekers. Life was tough, but the promise of wealth kept the spirits high and the miners relentless. As the settlement grew, so did its infrastructure. The Northern Bell Mine, established in 1873, became the camp's most profitable venture, producing substantial quantities of silver. This success attracted more people, and soon Candelaria was a thriving community with a growing population. By 1875, the Candelaria district had emerged as the most productive in southwestern Nevada. With the influx of miners and their families, the town needed more than just mining operations. Businesses and services began to flourish. 2 hotels provided accommodations for travelers and new arrivals, while numerous stores offered essential supplies. Saloons became social hubs where miners could unwind after long, grueling days. Doctors and lawyers set up practices, catering to the needs of the growing community. The rapid growth of Candelaria would soon bring many challenges. The most pressing issue faced by the town was a lack of water. Here in the arid climate of southwestern Nevada, water was a scarce resource, and the available supply was quickly depleted by the burgeoning population and mining operations. To continue processing the silver ore, the stamp mill in Candelaria had to operate as a dry mill, spreading toxic dust throughout the area. Unlike other mining camps that used a wet milling process, Candelaria's dry stamping process filled the air with fine particles of dust. This created severe health issues, with miners and residents suffering from respiratory diseases, often referred to as miners' consumption. Despite these challenges, the people of Candelaria were determined to thrive. Efforts were made to transport water from nearby areas, albeit at a high cost. Water had to be hauled from Columbus, a task that was both labor-intensive and expensive. The cost of water in Candelaria reached 4.5 cents per gallon, making even a simple bath a luxury that cost $2, equivalent to $58 today. In a bid to solve the water crisis, a 25-mile-long pipeline was constructed to bring water from the White Mountains to Candelaria. Completed in early 1882, the pipeline included a 500,000-gallon reservoir above the town. This development was a game-changer, allowing for a 30-stamp mill to be built in Candelaria and significantly improving living conditions. At its peak, Candelaria reached a population of 1,500 residents. The town boasted 2 hotels, a bank, a telegraph office, a school, numerous stores, and over 24 saloons. Despite the harsh conditions, daily life in Candelaria had a rhythm and vibrancy all its own. Families made homes in the rough and tumble town. Children attended school, and community events brought people together. The town's 3 doctors provided much-needed medical care, while lawyers and other professionals offered their services to the growing population. In February 1882, the arrival of the Carson and Colorado Railroad brought newfound promise for prosperity. The improved transportation network facilitated increased ore shipments from the Northern Bell Mine and brought essential supplies into the town. This development was seen as a beacon of hope for continued growth and stability. However, prosperity was often shadowed by adversity. In 1883, a fire swept through part of the town, causing significant damage. The residents of Candelaria faced the daunting task of rebuilding in the wake of the destruction. Legal disputes between the Northern Bell and the Holmes mine led to their consolidation in 1884. These conflicts, coupled with a prolonged strike at the mines, resulted in a significant drop in production. The local economy began to stagnate, casting a shadow over the town's future. The economic depression of 1893 made things worse. Known as the Silver Panic, it dealt a fatal blow to Candelaria's economy. Investment dried up, and many of the mines closed. The town's population dwindled, and the businesses shuttered their doors. The once thriving community began to wither, struggling to survive in the face of economic hardship. By the mid-1890s, Candelaria was a shadow of its former self. Businesses closed, homes were abandoned, and the once thriving streets became eerily quiet. The town's population dwindled, leaving behind only a handful of determined souls who clung to the hope of a revival that would sadly never truly come. A brief short revival occurred in 1918 when the Candelaria Mines Company took control of various properties, including the Argentum, Mount Diablo, and Lucky Hill mines. This sparked a resurgence of activity, and for a short time it seemed as though Candelaria might reclaim its former glory. However, the revival was short-lived, and by the 1930s the mines were once again idle. The closure of the Candelaria post office in 1935 marked the end of an era. With the post office gone, the remaining residents had little reason to stay. The town was abandoned, its buildings left to the mercy of the harsh desert elements. Welcome back, guys. I'm at the Candelaria ghost town in Nevada. There's only a few structures remaining. This is the main one right behind me. Since it is out here in the middle of nowhere in Nevada, the town ended up having issues with having enough water for its people and for its mining. So eventually it wasn't able to sustain itself and it collapsed. The final residents moved out around 1935. If you guys are liking the video, leave a like, subscribe. Thank you. Wow, look at this thing. Some type of old cart. That's cool. Wow. Oh, huge spiders. Not sure what this was. Check this building out, guys. This looks cool. Look at that. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's it for Candelaria. See you guys next time.